Hey there, aspiring guitarist. What have I got? Well, I don't know. It's kind of a see through guitar. Uh, it's the Yamaha Silent SLG200S that I got from Musician's Friend. And I'm going to talk about it in just a minute, the back of it, and I'll play for just a second. Although this is not a deep dive. I just got this. UPS just delivered it. It was double boxed from Musician's Friend. Uh, this is the box that it came in. It was well packed. I'll go ahead and open it once again, even though I've opened it once. Um, See, it's got the serial number on the box. It was properly bagged and padded. I got to tell you, I kind of like this better than that styrofoam garbage that gets all over the place. This stays put. It was bagged well and padded. A Musician Friend has a return label they include in there if you have any problems, which I don't like to have problems, and I didn't. That's why I buy from sources that I feel like properly packaged guitars, even though I realize that's subjective, and I realize there's plenty of unboxings where somebody had a problem. As somebody who came out of the Air Force as a powered support equipment mechanic, and part of that was as a diesel engine mechanic, and when I came out of the Air Force, I managed a truck terminal for a major steel corporation. I can tell you a great amount of the problems with guitar shipments are not the drivers. It is very often the way it's packaged, which is why they need to be double boxed. And you can't just take that box and stick it in another box. That's still going to allow for damage with forklifts and once it gets into distribution and things like that. But the other thing that made it very well padded, which I always look at when I buy a guitar online, is whether or not it comes with a gig bag or case. If you have to buy a case separately, I've only seen one online source, and that was an individual that put the guitar inside the case. But if it comes with a case, almost everybody I've dealt with, Sweetwater, Guitar Center, Musician's Friend, and I realize there could be an exception. There's always an exception. I'm telling you what I went through. But this is going to pad it even more. So the guitar was inside here, a very, very well protected gig bag that also had a Velcro strap, because the frame of the guitar comes apart, which makes it easy to travel with. And it was very easy to put on. We'll talk about that, but you do need to make sure you secure it well when you put the frame on, or you'll go to grab it and it'll pull off. But that's not a defect of the guitar. That's by design. The manual, which is a very good manual, it's thick because it's in multiple languages, but Yamaha took the time with this manual to show you everything and to go into detail what was there. So, and what the different things did. So very good, well-protected gig bag. I wouldn't be scared to take this anywhere, which naturally design the guitar. And then it has the pocket here that all the manual, and I'll show you the other stuff, came with. I'm extremely impressed with this guitar, and I've heard all the negative about it. Why would you want something that simulates an acoustic when you can have an acoustic? Well, number one is the absolute ease that I can play this with. It's about 4 pounds. The absolute ease I can move it around with, the blending of the sounds, which we'll get to, and the fact that when I don't have it plugged in, it's loud enough that I can hear it and play and noodle and not disturb members of my family, but they can't hear it. And I've talked about that with noodling guitars, is, you know, the traveler guitar and things like that. So I love the way this plays. I love this pick guard here because it allows you to anchor on to it. This frame, you could play without it. I even tried it for a second. But, you know, besides freaking people out and sticking my hand through the guitar, which, you know, that's kind of a Ghostbusters thing. So anyway, that was fun. I like the way this guitar feels. It's a 25-inch. They didn't say 25.5. It says it's a 25-inch scale. It's a 1.69 nut. So, you know, you're getting on up there with a wider, which I like that. This guitar feels well. Let's see what else it's got. It's 22 frets. The neck finish is satin. The top wood is mahogany. The back and sides are maple and rosewood. And you may think, well, that's not going to matter a whole heck of a lot, but it does matter when it comes to. Now I'm hitting these strings hard, so you can hear it. 25-inch scale length, 22 frets, neck finish is satin. The body finish is gloss. This is the natural color. It also comes in tobacco sunburst, trans black. I think I've seen it in some other colors too. Tuning machines. The bridge is rosewood, and it comes with a gig bag. Country of origin, China. And you can, that doesn't bother me a bit, especially with Yamaha. I've had Yamaha motorcycles, Yamaha pianos, Yamaha guitars. Yamaha makes a lot of stuff, and it really shines with the electronics. And they go into detail in the electronics with what all it will do. I'm not going to bore you with a deep dive. So I'm going to tell you, you did have to put in 2 AA batteries, which there just wasn't anything to that at all. As you can see, they go right there. Very simple. It wasn't a 9-volt, plugged right in. Then the power light came on. It has an excellent tuner. There's the tuner. You can see it lighting up. You see it making the E. Easy display, easy to read. I'll turn that off. Then, of course, you got your volume. You've got your treble, your bass. This right here is the blending knob. There's 2 pickups. There's a sensor pickup and a piezo pickup in here. And then you have your reverb styles, which we'll go into that too. Over on this other side, you have your auxiliary in and a DC power supply. And they tell you in the manual if you're going to get a power supply, which ones to buy even, which a lot of them just say buy a good power supply. But Yamaha did their, as usual, I've gotten Yamaha motorcycles that it was just enjoyable to read the manual instead of, you know, RTFM and everybody throws the manual away. This actually helped quite a bit. I'm going to play just a little bit just so you can hear it. I'm going to a Positive Grid Spark 40. I'm on a clean channel. I'm on the first preset. And I'm not sure what I went into the digital app made, but let's just see how loud I've got this. That's a nice tone. and here's the other thing I like about this. Pardon me, that's my dehumidifier coming on. I have guitars. I live in the Birmingham, Alabama metro area. We have a lot of humidity. It's already hot. The reason I feel safe with my guitars out and not in a case is because I have a hygrometer. As you can see, I'm at 54%, and that's where I like to be. And I have a couple of these so that I can constantly monitor the humidity in this room. But at any rate, you can see this looking over or back. I got to tell you that to me, they put a lot of thought into this. I can easily get to things. So if I want to turn the volume up or down, okay, I've got the reverb all the way over. Now, the reverb is described as there's 3 positions on the reverb. The reverb was described as being in a room by yourself. Next position was being in a larger room. And the last one was like a 12-string or an auditorium. So let's dial back the bass. I had the bass dialed up. And let's dial back the treble, and let's do that again. Let's start out with the first reverb. There's a second. You can hear it. And here's that last one. Okay, so that's the reverb, which is nice. And then you've got this blend knob. And remember, I can see all this with ease. You know how they'll put an onboard tuner and you're doing this number, and your EQ and your volume, and you can't see it, and you're playing this little game. Well, I can see this. That's nice. So anyway, let's A major 7. Now let's do a blending. We'll turn up the bass. That's a nice sustain. I love the way this guitar feels. We'll turn it off. We'll come out with the jack, which of course, got a nice input jack up underneath here. I love the way this guitar feels. I love that you can grab this. Now, it's very simple. It's just a matter, like many things, of unscrewing it, dropping the frame down in there. They're just, it's a steel a pin that goes in. You can feel it go in. You do need to secure it tightly, and you need to check. If you go to pick this guitar up, I strongly suggest grabbing hold of it and pulling a little to make sure you've got it. Once you've got it, you're good to go. And it feels natural. This just feels really good. I think this serves multiple purposes. Again, I know the argument. I've seen people get on some of these reviews and just trash this, and it's usually somebody who's never tried it. That doesn't mean that your review is invalid if you tried it and didn't like it. Different strokes for different folks. I have a feeling this is going to become a noodling guitar, and it's certainly a guitar I'm going to take camping with me. So that's something I'm looking forward to. And again, it's just loud enough I can hear. You know, if I want to do scales, I can hear them. I can play. So this to me serves a lot of purposes. And it's also just a lot of fun to freak your grandkids out and have a little fun with the guitar. So hope your guitar journey is blessed. Most of all, hey, happy picking.